Look, I'm tired of fake proofs of contradiction, okay? It's madness.
This is Sparta!
Alright, what's up everyone? Professor Wolverine here. This is a little PSA. I'm here to inform you that Euclid's proof that there are infinitely many prime numbers is not actually a proof by contradiction, as, everyone seems to say. Yeah, I know, your professors, they're going to tell you that it's a proof by contradiction, but don't listen to them. I'm here to tell you the truth.
You dropped 150 grand on fucking education you could have got for $1.50 in late charges at the public library.
Okay, so why is that? So I'm not going to bother writing anything down because I think it's a simple enough argument. So let's just recall the proof. The proof goes like this. Suppose not. So this is, where the contradiction comes in. Suppose that there are finitely many prime numbers. Then you could take all those prime numbers, multiply them together, and add 1. Now this new number that you get is not going to be divisible by any of those prime numbers, which means that there must be some other prime number, which contradicts the fact that the finite set of prime numbers that we started with had all prime numbers.
My boy's wicked smart.
But that's weird, because we can modify the opening statement in a simple way so as to make it not a proof by contradiction. Suppose instead of assuming that there are finitely many prime numbers, that we just assume that we have some set which has finitely many prime numbers. Then the same proof would show that there are more prime numbers that there are in this set, which directly shows that there are infinitely many prime numbers. I mean, you could do this with any theorem. You can say any theorem is proof by contradiction by first supposing the theorem isn't true, giving a direct proof that the theorem is true, and saying, oh, that contradicts the fact that you supposed it wasn't true, right? But that doesn't mean it's a proof by contradiction unless you're okay with saying that every theorem is a proof by contradiction. Now, I guess if you want to get technical about it, you could say that it is a proof by contradiction because it contradicts like the fundamental theorem of arithmetic, for example, because you know that every number has a decomposition into prime numbers. So this number we get by multiplying all these primes together and adding 1. The reason we know there must be a prime dividing it is by the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And if we suppose that we started out with all the primes, then this would mean that there is no prime dividing this new number, which contradicts the fundamental theorem of arithmetic. And okay, like that's okay, but that's not like what people usually think the contradiction is. So I still don't think it's right to call it a proof by contradiction.
Madman. You're a madman.
A real proof by contradiction couldn't be modified in this, very simple way to give a proof that isn't by contradiction. Now, there are other examples of this that are even worse. I believe I was reading a functional analysis book years ago, and they were proving what I believe was the bare category theorem, if I recall correctly. And they started the proof out by assuming that bare category theorem wasn't true, and then they gave a direct proof that the bare category theorem is true. And the opening statement that the bare category theorem wasn't true was never mentioned again. They just at the end of it they said, therefore contradiction. But there is, you could omit the first line and the last line, which was the last line being that we have a contradiction, and you have a direct proof of the bare category theorem. It was, look, I'm tired of fake proofs of contradiction, okay? It's madness. Now, what is a good proof by contradiction? Well, I would say that the fact that the square root of 2 is irrational is better. Essentially, in that proof, you're contradicting the fact that you could represent any fraction in lowest terms, so that the numerator and denominator don't have a common factor. But Euclid's proof? I don't think so.
This is blasphemy. This is madness.
So why do people think it's a proof by contradiction? It's just because they've been told it's a proof by contradiction.
You come into a bar, you read some obscure passage, and then pretend you pawn it off as your own idea just to impress some girls, embarrass my friend.
Look, maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, but at least I won't be unoriginal.
I'm not the first person to realize this. Many people have written about this. I know Timothy Gowers, for example, has written about proofs by contradiction. I don't know if he's written about this one in particular, but if you just Google Euclid's proof contradiction, you'll find a list of articles talking about how it's not really a proof by contradiction, and they're overfull of posts talking about it. It's a polarizing topic.
But I mean, if you have a problem like that, I mean, we could just step outside. We could figure it out.
So please share this video, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. Whatever. I'm Professor Wolverine. If you have any suggestions for videos, let me know. See you next time.
How do you like them apples?